Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to the TTV News with some last events in our province, and here we come to our stories today. Ladies and gentlemen, on August the 3rd, the Police Department for Administrative Management of the Social Order, Ministry of Public Security, in collaboration with the Thailand Provincial Public Security Department, organized an intensive training course on the management and use of weapons and explosives, support drones, and also the firecrackers for officials and soldiers of the Thailand Provincial Police in 2023. In Tuesday, August the 3rd to August the 4th, the trainees were taught 6 topics, such as basic contents of relevant laws, decrees, and circulars, new point on regulations on sanctioning administrative violations in the field of management and use of weapons, explosives, supporting drones and firecrackers, the basic investigation in the field of weapons, explosives, supporting drones and firecrackers, warehouse management, preservation and maintenance of weapons, military explosives, support drones, etc., and at the same time exchange and answer difficulties and problems in practice at the facility. Colonel Trần Văn Luận, Deputy Director of Provincial Public Security Department, emphasized that the training course helped the officials to master the legal and professional knowledge, improve their sense of responsibility in management and use of weapons and materials of explosives, support drones, and firecrackers. And on the afternoon of August the 2nd, Mr. Nguyễn Thành Tâm, Secretary Provincial Party Committee and Chairman Provincial People's Council, and delegates of the Provincial People's Council of Thailand City had a meeting with the voters of Ward 4. At the meeting, the voters reflected that the early 78 of the August Revolution Street has deteriorated and is often flooded in a rainy season, causing difficulties in traveling as well as the people's activities surrounding this area. The situation of buying and selling, encroaching on the sidewalks and roadways still take place on the key roads, causing loss of urban beauty and the traffic safety. The voter hopes that the functional sector will soon reorganize the operation of Ward 4 market, especially the need to invest in a fire prevention and fighting system, and strengthen inspection and handling of violation on food hygiene and safety. Encroachment occupy the roadway to trade in the area around the market. In addition, the voters of Ward 4 also suggest that the city pay attention to investment in infrastructure and landscape, and there should be a plans and solutions for effective use of public lands and policies to support the people whose land is affected by the planning. Voters' opinion were also received and explained by the Deputy of Provincial and the City People's Council and the leader of the city's people committees at the meeting. And on August the 3rd, the Department of Labor, Work Wellness and Social Affairs of Thailand Province held a workshop on the current situation, causes, and solutions to prevent human trafficking and support the victims of trafficking in the coming time. The provincial border guard detected and arrested for 372 cases out of 599 subjects entering and leaving illegally, prosecuted for 35 cases with 42 subjects for organizing illegal entry and the seizure of others. A representative of the Criminal Police Department of Thailand Public Security said that the situation of human trafficking in the province in the past times stemmed from the situation that Vietnamese citizens were lured through social networks to go to Cambodia to work illegally. Permits and status of human trafficking hidden in conditional business services such as karaoke, massage, etc. A representative of Mokpai International Border Station said that the international cooperation in prevention of human trafficking in recent years has seen many positive changes, but there has been no regular exchange and coordination in the fight against human trafficking. Fighting with these types of crime makes it difficult for the forces, and therefore it is necessary to further strengthen external relations with the Cambodian functional forces and authorities to coordinate in preventing and combating illegal immigration.
In the afternoon of August, the Ministry of Customs of the province held a conference to sign a program of cooperation with the Islam Muslim Community Representative Board in Thailand province for the period of 2023-2025. Accordingly, in this period, the Provincial Ministry of Customs shall assume the primary responsibility for and coordinate with functional agencies in supporting the implementation of propaganda and education for dignitaries, believers, and ethnic charm followers of Islam about viewpoints, lives, undertakings, and policies of the party and state laws on ethnic and religious affairs, propaganda, the law on military service, and coordination in performing well the mass mobilization in the locality. In addition, the Provincial Islam Muslim Community Representative Board deploys and organizes propaganda for the Cham ethnic group to follow Islam about the party's policy and state laws, actively respond to the revolutionary action movements of the locality and at all levels, branches, and launched by the army, do well in mobilizing children and believers to implement the law on military service, contributing to building a stronger and stronger position of the people's hearts and building closer and closer solidarity between the army and people. It is noted that in the past time, the Provincial Party Committee, Ministry of Public Security has coordinated to build for cultural activities, physical training and sports projects for the mosque establishments in the area with a total budget of 4 billion Vietnam dong. Currently, one project is being built in Tân Biên district.
And on August the 3rd, the Steering Committee for Implementation of Social Insurance and Health Insurance Policies of Diem Châu District held a conference to review the implementation of the social insurance and health insurance policies in the first 6 months and directions and tasks in the last 6 months of 2023. According to the assessment of the Steering Committee for Implementation of Policies on Social Insurance and Health Insurance in Diem Châu District, the mobilization of the people to participate in health insurance in the first 6 months of the year has increased more than in 2022, but the achieved results are not high and not met the requirements assigned by the People's Committee of the Ninh Province yet. Besides, the communication work has been carried out regularly but has not really spread strongly in the community life. And the new rural communes, newly improved rural areas do not maintain the rate of participation in health insurance, strongly mobilize the sponsors to support participation in a short time, and the status of units that are slow to close for a long time is still happening after collection has not been completed. And also on August the 3rd, the City Police held a conference to review the work of the party and public security in the first 6 months of the year and implement tasks for the last 6 months of the 2023.
In the first 6 months in the city, there were 71 out of 75 cases with signs of criminal law violation, therefore cases compared to the same period in 2022. 66 out of 71 cases were investigated and discovered. The rate of investigation and discovery reached over 92%, exceeding 2.95% of the target. The traffic accident situation was reduced and controlled by on-road criteria. There were 5 cases, 1 dead, 4 injured, 1 case down, 1 injured. Speaking at the conference, Colonel Nguyễn Văn Trải, Secretary of the Party Committee, Director of Provincial Public Security, requested that TayNinhTV City Police continue to perform well the party building work, to perform well the party and force building work, build a team of officers and soldiers to meet the requirements of the task, to further tighten discipline, strengthen inspection, examination and supervision, to prevent violations of party members, officers and soldiers in the performance of tasks, actively and promptly and effectively solve problems, complex issues arise about security and order from the grassroots.
And ladies and gentlemen, from August the 1st, the Traffic Police of the Ninh Public Security took out total control of passenger transport business cars and containerized freight cars, implementing a plan to ensure the traffic order and safety through the last months of 2023 across the province. This is a round of general control deployed by the Ministry of Public Security across the country for 2.5 months from August the 1st to October the 15th. Reporting on the National Highway 22, the Trang Bang Traffic Police Station arranged a task force in the area of Trang Bang 2 hamlet of Thanh Phước Commune, Go Châu District, both to inspect and propagate to drivers and vehicle owners to know the plan of the total control. If there is a peak hour of controlling, you are ready to comply. This issue has also been grasped a week ago. According to him, the authorities should also make the problem harsh, and it is for the people to travel safely. I will go back to propagandize for my brothers to run and fix roads with its full documents. The goods and passengers do not exceed the specified number of people, and I think that it's also good for the safety of myself and our passengers also. Traffic police also propagated to drivers the errors that are direct cause of traffic accidents. The traffic police propaganda reminds me to ride a car without using alcohol and running is the right speed. Inspection are focused on passenger cars and container freight cars, and through inspection, most of the drivers knew about the traffic police general control of the transport business vehicles. I also know that at the beginning of August, the traffic force took the control of the container truck, and I also support and agree with this and run it right, like a large and a long container truck that ensure the speed and the weight of the vehicle. In the first 15 days, the functional forces will combine handling of violation with propaganda and mobilizing the vehicle owners, business owners, and also the drivers to comply to the law. In the first days of the peak implementation of controlling the traffic, the provincial traffic police force conducted reviewed survey and raised statistics business owners in the area of the province to organize propaganda and make a commitment to strictly abide by the road traffic law. In the second phase, patrolling and control will be strengthened to strictly handle violations in accordance with the spirit of this peak period. From very beginning, the spirit of law enforcement throughout the province is very determined to implement effectively in the peak performance this time. Implementing the plan of the Department of the Sea number 8. At the beginning, the Traffic Policy Department checked on the highway in the area of Đông Vàng Commune, and through inspection, 30 container trucks of containers were also checked. Initially, we found that the container did not detect any violation and checked for 25 times of passenger cars and discovered that the drivers had the driving license that was not suitable for the condition of the vehicle with over 50 sets. And when detecting a construction trail, shall make a record on handling the vehicle impoundment according to regulations. And on August the 2nd, Trang Traffic Police Station, the Traffic Police Department of the Ninh Police discovered that the bus driver was not qualified to operate for a 47-seat passenger car carrying foreigners on the National Highway 22B from Ho Chi Minh City to Mộc Bài International Border Gate. And the working group reported an error to the offending driver. And up to now, the Department of Transport of the Ninh Province has granted for 1,298 transport business licenses, of which 234 enterprise licenses, cooperative for 17 licenses, and business household for 1,047 licenses. The number of vehicle rented transport batches upon car is about 13,298 batches, in which there are 292 passenger transport vehicles on fixed routes and 590 passenger transport vehicles by taxis and 1,237 passenger transport vehicles under contract, for 8,200 vehicles with a freight transport by car. And through the total control creating a positive change in awareness and sense of compliance with the traffic laws on vehicle owners and also the drivers, strive to restrain and reduce traffic accidents in the area, and there will be no particularly serious traffic accidents related to passenger cars and container trucks from here until the end of 2023. In rice production, drones can replace workers in many jobs from planting to fertilizing, spraying pesticides with many times higher efficiency. Investing for a plant like this, the business loses several hundred million Vietnam dong. However, the investment cost is not the problem that makes business hesitate, but it is the search for human resources to operate, develop, and change the fragmented thinking of the farmers. With technological processes requiring higher research content to serve agricultural production, many enterprises have to cooperate with the scientists from large research units. In this process, many businesses have to put into a lot of efforts and even take risks. Agriculture is an area that is affected by regionality, and with the great risk, the farmers also hesitate when applying for the technological processes. They have to cooperate with the scientists from the large research units to make sure that they have the profits and make sure that they harvest for the right time. Many times it has become a hot topic at the parliament. According to the Ministry of Science and Technology, there are currently 290 enterprises supplying technology, 690 production areas with 70% meeting the criteria of high-tech application areas, and nearly 2,000 corporates having converted technology. This number is considered to be very modest compared to the requirements and the development of the agricultural industry. Therefore, many argue that it is necessary to divide into many levels of technology to ensure the appropriateness and effectiveness for the backward and fragmented agriculture in our country. According to the Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development, implementing the strategy for science and technology development and innovation in agriculture, the ministry is actively seeking technological solutions from institutes and schools to quickly promote the application of science and technology and deploy it to businesses and farmers. And that's all for the TTV News today. Thank you for joining with us and see you next time.